Hey, my name's Dave, and I'd just like to thank the YouTube audience for um, putting videos out there to help people. I can't tell you the number of videos I've watched on how to do this, how to do that, and 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 I've just really appreciated them. So I thought, I'm going to attempt this project. I'm going to put a video together, and hopefully it'll help somebody else. So here's a video on how to change the hood release cable on an '01 Honda Accord V6. I think it'll probably work for 98s, 96 through '01 or '02. They're all probably pretty similar. So hopefully this video will help somebody um, tackle this project. I apologize in advance for the poor quality video. I tried to start out by holding the phone, my iPhone, in one hand and working with my other hand, but that proved too difficult. So there's a lot of stopping, putting the phone down, working on what I needed to work on, and turning the phone back on. But hopefully you'll get the gist of the project that I completed. Thanks. All right, hello YouTube audience. This will be my first ever YouTube instructional video. I searched online on how to replace the hood release cable for a '01 Honda Accord and could not find one. I found a video on a Civic, so I think the process is going to be pretty similar. We'll find out here as I go through this endeavor to see if it's similar, and hopefully I can help somebody else out. This is the problem I'm having. I have a V6 Honda Accord. It belongs to my daughter who's away at college. I'm trying to get it fixed up so she can take it to school with her in the fall. And when we try to close the hood, this is what happens. It stays open. And the problem, I thought, was with the hood latch itself. So yesterday I replaced this hood latch, brand new latch on there, but it turns out it's the cable. This little piece right here on the hood latch is not going down. This is the cable which comes in right here is attached to this. So if I wiggle the cable, if you watch that little piece there, it'll go down and reset. See, it goes down a little bit, and now the hood will close. So the problem is in the cable itself. It's corroded. I tried lubricating it, but the car is going on 15 years old, so I'm going to replace the whole cable and see if that doesn't help it. All right, the first thing you need to do to get the cable off is there's a plastic cover that actually shields the hood release lock. Probably keep bugs and snow and ice and everything from getting in there and corroding it. I had already popped that off. To do so, there's a little plastic nut below this side. If you reach your hand right down here, you can kind of reach a screwdriver in here and pop this little nut off, just a little plastic nut, and then it frees up this plastic a little bit. It pops off. It snaps on top right here. This little piece right here snaps on there, and then you can kind of lift it out from the left side. You set this grommet down. Kind of hard holding the phone and doing this, but you can lift it out. So this is what it looks like. See, that hole in the bottom is where that grommet fit. So this is a shield that goes on there. You can get that out of the way. Now, it provides you a little more access to this cable, which is can't quite reach down there to release it. So I'm going to take off these 3 bolts, one here, and one below this one. And it's a 10 millimeter nut. Seems like everything Honda is a 10 millimeter. So I have my 10mm socket and an extension so that I can reach right through the grill. I'll reach through the bottom grill and get that one on the bottom. So I'm going to loosen up those right now. 10mm socket. Switch hands. Alright. Got that. Got that top one loose. They're really tight. Yesterday when I took them off to replace this, they were really snug, but see if I can get that cable loose by just loosening these, and then see if I can reach this bottom one here. Yeah, just can barely reach that one in there by going through the grill. Alright. This is pretty loose now. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get that cable out of there or not. I'm gonna turn the camera off now and remove it completely. All right, I got all three 10mm bolts off. So now the hood latch is completely loose and free. Again, this is a new one that I replaced yesterday, which it turns out I didn't have to do. I just need to replace the cable, but it looks identical to the original one. Now there's also a plug, electrical outlet or electrical connection plugged into this. See if I can put some light on it. That cord, that black cord there. This cord right there. There's a connection behind here, which was a real pain to do yesterday. But that's why it won't come out completely. But that's okay. We don't need to take it out completely to disconnect the hood release. It just slides off this end. Again, I'm going to turn the camera off and use both hands, but basically you just pop it off here, and then it's a little ball that you pop off from in there. You'll figure it. Needed both hands, but here's the end. There's the ball that connects to that latch, right? That little groove right there, you see. So I got that released. Now I can start the process of fishing this wire through. Okay, now with these needle nose pliers, you can simply push these pins through the firewall or through the frame by pinching them together and pushing them through. I realize my camera work is really horrible. You just push those through. Pinch and push. Okay, that one went through. Here's another one. I'm gonna see if I can get the camera out. Where's my? There it is. Pinch it and push it through. Okay, that's loosened up the cord quite a bit already. And there's another one down here, right here. Pinch it, push it through. And that's the last one I can see. If you reach up underneath here, you can feel the cable. See, I'll just pull it. I'm gonna pull it through. Okay, I got that part of it through. You reach up underneath here, you can feel it's under there. I think I've got it free. Need to get this clip that I pushed through there. I'm going to try to get that off there somehow. I can feel the cable right here. I'm going to try to push the cable through that direction and get it to here. A comment here: as I'm taking this cable off, I noticed that the black The black plugs are the ones associated with the cable. I popped this white one out, but you reach underneath here and it's attached to another bundle of wires. So I just pushed it back through so that that white one is not associated with the hood release cable, but the black ones are. So there's two black ones here, and there's one black one here associated with it. And they just separate. You can separate them and remove them from the cable completely, just like that. They just pull apart. So I'll save those for the new cable when I get it through. I got those off there. Now, right behind the radiator fill line, you can see the cable through this hole when you wiggle it. So I think we're okay to here. I'm gonna. It feels like it's loose all the way up into here. Now I'm just gonna take the underneath the wheel well apart and fish it through there. And I'm suspecting the cable comes through the wheel well just like on the Civic. So behind the left front driver's side wheel, I got it turned out of the way. There's some Phillips screws holding this plastic cover on. I'm going to pop these Phillips screws off and then see what we got underneath there. Alright, I got the 3 screws off, and there's also some little plastic plugs that I had to pop off. There they are. Sorry about the bad camera work. Little plastic plugs to pop off. So I got this interior piece of plastic pretty loose. And sure enough, here's, I'm going to put some light on it. Here's, you can see the hood release cable comes through right there. And it was held on up underneath with these little plastic plugs that you just had to really pull them out. The new cable comes with these, so don't worry about it. Just pull these out. You have to reach up in there and pull real hard to loosen it and pop them. It was it's kind of a bitch, but I reached up under here and pulled all 3 of those plugs out. The one towards the front of the car was the worst. I had to really pull this down to reach up in there, and got it with 2 hands and popped it off. So now the cable is completely loose now, and I should be able to pull it through. This grommet right here, where it goes through the frame into the car, we'll pop that off. It comes with a new one of those also, so I'm just gonna pull that rubber piece off there. I'll probably end up using a utility knife and cutting it loose. And that's the big hole that we'll pull the new wire. Muscle that rubber grommet off without cutting it. So there's where the cable goes into the firewall. All right, now I'm inside the car. Cable is attached to the hood release, and I can't figure out how to disconnect it, so I think I have to take this plastic cover off. So to do that, this floorboard here this entry just pops off. There's just by lifting it straight up. And let's see how this feels like it pops off too. Get my light in here. And let's see. How is this attached? Can't feel any screws. I think it just Well, I'm going to turn my camera off and investigate this a little bit more and see if I can figure out how to get that off there. Alright, well, turns out I needed both hands for quite a while. There is two clips. They're steel or metal clips that fasten that on there, and it took all my muscle to pop both of them out going that direction to get this thing off there. Now it frees up this area. We can see where the cable attaches. Looks like I need to I'm going to remove this bracket with these screws. Looks like probably 10 or 12 millimeter sockets again. So pop that off there. They were both 10 millimeter nuts that held the hood release in place right there. So I got that off, and now you can see the cable just pops off that back. I'll need two hands to pop that off there, and thread it in. Thread the new one in the latch there. I can see there's a fray. The cable's frayed a little bit right there, so I guess it's a good thing I'm replacing this before it breaks completely. Anyways, I'm going to pop that off now. I need two hands for that. The cable free at this end, free from the handle. There was a little cut in the handle to allow you pull it all the way open, and you can slide that T right out of there. So it's designed to easily be removed, I guess, or assembled. Now I'm going to attach a cable or a string, a piece of wire to the other end of this before I pull it through. That way I can pull the new cable through the same routing. Alright, I found some real strong nylon cord that I tied on the end that attaches to the hood release, and we're going to pull the cable through that way and pull the string through with it, so then I can pull the new cable back through from the inside of the car. So I'm going to give this a lot of slack out here, and see how it works. Start from inside the wheel well. I'll grab a hold of it and start pulling it. See where it gets us. The end of it is bent a little, so it's snagging every once in a while. Got it jammed here already. I'm going to turn off the camera and untangle this mess here. I got it snagged around this headlight holder, so I popped this nut off. Of course, it was another 10 millimeter, and got that headlight loose, and I was able to free up the cable. So I've noticed that it was curved quite a bit where it fastened on. So I've tried to straighten it. I think if we make it as straight as possible, it'll go through the pathway. So try to straighten out that cable as much as you can, so it pulls straight through and doesn't get snagged on anything. And actually pull it from the under the fender here. Feels like it's stuck on something else. I'm going to get a light up underneath here and see if I can see underneath the wheel well what it might be snagged. It turns out it just went around a corner up there. I think you can see this. If I can get the camera in there. It made about a 90-degree turn, so I just had to stick my hand way up in there and wiggle it through to get this this end through that corner. And now we're we're home free now, right into the wheel well. I am going to cut this grommet off now, and cut these clips off, because we've got to feed the cable through that direction. I thought you can see light through there, so that's inside the car from the wheel well. So I'm just going to pull it through from there. I just pulled it through from inside the car. Now I'll feed the new cable. I'll feed the new cable in through there, and then use this string to pull it through around the battery and behind the radiator. All right, here's my new cable. It comes with the 3 clips that attach under the wheel well and a new rubber grommet. I am going to have to feed this from the inside of the car out, simply because of the direction of this rubber grommet. And it's interesting to note, on the cable itself, there's little yellow tick marks. There's one right there, and there's one here, one right there, and one further down. And what they are is they're reference points. So this one is for where this rubber grommet needs to go, and then each of these clips have a marking, so the exact length of the cable will be precise and reach the hood, obviously. So it's just kind of interesting that they have that predetermined. Alright, 2 interesting things. I couldn't fish these little clips through from the inside out, so I had to start fishing it that way. So I just pushed that end into the car, and then just finagled the large end of that rubber grommet and got it mounted there. Then, this is the frustrating thing, is my light bulb burned out on my light, so I was walking over to get another light bulb, and wouldn't you know, I snagged my foot on the string, and of course I pulled the string through. So now I have no way of fishing the cable easily from the wheel well back behind the battery. So now it's going to be a difficult task to try to fish it up underneath here. Hopefully it'll go through pretty naturally, but that's going to be a real bitch now. So a word of caution: secure the end of this string behind your wheel well so you don't accidentally trip over it when you're walking over to get more 75-watt light bulbs for your shop light. I think this project just added about an hour or two. It wasn't that difficult. I was able to reach way back up in there and bend that wire, get it into the trunk area, and it just naturally followed this channel and popped out right here. So I can reattach the string, and basically I just need to get it around here, and I'm just simply tucking it up underneath here. So I'm basically home free here. I'm going to finish tucking the wire, and then and we should almost... All right, now in an effort to learn from my mistakes, before I pull the rest of this wire through and reattach it, I'm going to reattach the driver's side, get all that attached and bolted in place, so I don't accidentally yank it through from here. Not that it would be a big deal, but just trying to learn from my mistakes as we go. I got this all attached. It's pretty straightforward. Had to open this up real wide to slide the T connector in that slot right there, and then snap the cable in at this end. And I'm going to reattach this with the 10mm bolts and put all this plastic back together, so the inside of the car will be finished. The inside all put back together. You had to bang it pretty good when you get this piece of plastic all lined up. You have to give it a pretty good bang to get these 2 clips to snap in. They're pretty stiff, but once you got that snapped in, this piece this piece snaps down real easy. So this trim is all put back together. So the inside of the car is done. Okay, remember these clips that we popped off that fit through those holes? I got 2 of them. The third one that was over there I never did find. So I'm going to go ahead and clip them on the cable and reattach it there and there by you can reach up underneath this this frame, and I'm going to do that. And I got those 2 clips back in there, and there. And I've got this cable here. I'm going to slide it in this groove here, and hook the ball around that clip down there. Cable reattached very easily. I slipped the ball in there and then just snap this end in the groove. Now I'm going to reattach the hood lock with my 3 10mm bolts. In truth, I can already tell it's working perfect, because before this little thing would stay up, and now when I lift it up, it snaps right back down all by itself. So I know it's going to work perfectly. But let's try it here for the first time. Get my tools out of the way. Unhook my light. And here we go. First time. Beautiful. Okay, I just slid this piece of plastic back in there. Reach down and pop that grommet. You can get a light on it. Well, not really, but there's a little grommet down there that I popped in, little plastic plug. So the piece of plastic's back on there just to keep dirt and gunk out of there. Project's done. I got the wheel well all put back together. Some of the plugs didn't go in quite right, but it's all put back together. Everything works. Hope this helps somebody out there. Take care.